I have a mother and father who fought to give me help and a solid background in my youth. I have a wife, a companion for life, who has shown me more courage than I ever knew. People all say that I've had a bad break.
So we're approaching Lou Gehrig's home. If you could see, it's that white home there. 9 Meadow Lane. And he bought the home, Lou Gehrig bought the home for his mom's name, taking over a mortgage that was $10,000 in 1927. Lived here until 1933 when he got married. Home was foreclosed upon in 1937. And the home has kind of went through various phases of ownership here. And you know, it was vacant for many years. Finally bought most recently for $459,000, I believe, 3 years ago, which is a steal. Just steal for that type of a home. Needed some work, needed some remodeling. You could tell we're walking. Give you a better shot. It's actually Lou Gehrig Way and Meadow Lane. It was renamed for Lou Gehrig Way. Well, these homes are pretty similar. Back of the house. It's a very big house. Beautiful house. And it was remodeled. I'll show you the pictures of the house. It's a gorgeous house. Considering, you know, homes that I was looking for purchase in my area going for 7, 8. You know, had I known about, you know, this type of a house selling for this much, it's a damn steal of a price. And that lady's probably delivering a house, an Amazon package to what used to be a home of Lou Gehrig. I wonder if she knows. And I was wondering to myself, do people know, like, when they're stepping into history? A lot of people do not know. Like, she is going to the house of Lou Gehrig, and she has no idea. Side, back of the house. Beautiful house.
Playing in 2,130 consecutive games. Then a fatal disease attacked baseball's Iron Man. In Yankee Stadium, touched to tears by the tribute, Gehrig made his last public appearance.
For the past 2 weeks, you've been reading about a bad brag. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. when you look around, wouldn't you consider it privilege to associate yourself with such a fine-looking man as is standing in uniform in this ballpark today? That I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for. Thank you.
All right, guys, welcome to another edition of Grez. Here at Kensico Cemetery, Westchester County, visiting a grave of yet another famous ball player who transcended, sports. Best way to find this is actually section 93, but it was a little bit difficult to get here. Best way, when you go downstairs, look for Ossipee Avenue. If you could get downstairs to the main office, get yourself a map. If you can't, go to Ossipee Avenue, Cherokee Plot, section 93. And it's actually the grave of Lou Gehrig. As you've seen, I will attach a video as to his location, his house where he once lived in New Rochelle. He lived there until he got married. About 10 miles away from here. And if you guys are doing a trip, doing a tours, of New York, Babe Ruth's grave is actually, and Billy Martin's grave is about 5 miles from here as well. So it's not that far away, so you guys could probably do everything. But we are approaching the grave of Lou Gehrig. It's actually a historical tour. They do tours here. Probably do it a cell phone tour. Historical tour, marker number 29. Lou Gehrig. Man is a legend. It says, there's a marker here that says special care. Let's take a look around the back here. Nothing here. We're about, four rows in. Lou Gehrig, what a young age. He had numerous baseball records. He is best remembered for his farewell speech, July 4th, 1939, in Yankee Stadium. And he said goodbye to his fans. He was elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1939. And shortly after his retirement, and he was also the first ball player to have his number retired, number 4. He was born in New York City to poor German immigrants. He was one of 4 children. He was the only one, rather, of 4 children to survive to adulthood. Wow. His mother cleaned houses, took in laundry to make ends meet, while his father Heinrich, was in poor health due to epilepsy and was mostly unemployed. In 1921, he won a football scholarship to Columbia University, which he used to pursue an engineering degree. Gehrig played both football and baseball, and in college, and in 1923, baseball scouts saw him they were so impressed that he immediately was signed to the Yankees. They gave him an immediate signing bonus of $1,500, which Gehrig used to pay his sick parents' hospital bills. In his first season, he batted .423 in his first 26 times at bat. At the end of his second year, he replaced the aging Wally Pipp at first base, where he played for the next 13 years. He was known as the Iron Horse for his durability. Gehrig at that time set a record of playing in 2130 consecutive games, which would be broken in '95 by Cal Ripken. Despite his talent and his athletic prowess, he was mostly known for his humility, kind heart, winning attitude, and he was always thankful for the opportunities that baseball had given him. It was this genuine and honest humbleness that endeared him so much to his legion of fans. He would play every day, despite suffering common baseball injuries, broken thumb, broken toe, back spasms, and he ignored despite the pain. When Gehrig's hands were x-rayed in the late 1930s, doctors found over 17 broken bones that had healed while Gehrig just continued to play. He played through everything. Batting record was very equally impressive in that he topped 300 for 12 consecutive years, overshadowed by the equally impressive Babe Ruth. The two men would continue to dominate the Yankees during the early 1930s. And these two are very competitive, despite being constantly compared to each other. They were best of friends. Gehrig won the MVP 1927. 1928, he batted an outstanding .374 and tied with Root for runs batted in with 142. September 1933, he got married, who is the daughter, Eleanor Twitchell. She was the daughter of Chicago Parks Commissioner Frank Twitchell. Just going back to this, they were Gehrig and Ruth were really, best of friends. There came a point, apparently, where the two men did not speak for the next 6 years. Apparently, when Eleanor Gehrig made an ill comment about Claire Ruth's daughter's clothing, the two men wouldn't speak to each other for the next 6 years. When Babe Ruth left the Yankees to retire at the end of the 34th season, it looked as if Gehrig's time had come. But in 36, a new player, Joe DiMaggio, came in, and those two men dominated the game for the next 3 years. In 38, his playing game became noticeably less than his normal best. Doctors at the Mayo Clinic diagnosed him with ALS, a progressive muscle degenerative disease that is not curable. With a diagnosis of less than 3 years to live, that news meant the end of Gehrig's career. Sports writer by the name of Paul Gallico suggested that the team have a Lou Gehrig Recognition Day on July 4th, 1939. Speaking from his heart, Gehrig spoke his words of thanks to, at that point, 62,000 fans, and he told them that he was the luckiest man on the face of the earth, despite all his troubles. Now, it was recognized considered one of the most emotional moments in sports history. At the close of that short speech, Babe Ruth put his arms around his teammate and spoke to him for the first time in 6 years. After retiring, Gehrig worked for the community until ALS forced him to give it up. Lou Gehrig died just 2 years later at the age of 37 at his home in Riverdale, New York. ALS, it's referred as Lou Gehrig's disease right now. If you look at the headstone here, right? It's the wrong year of birth. It's actually 1903 for Lou Gehrig, not 1905. And the cemetery, they do not change it because they consider the headstone private property. So Lou Gehrig's birth year is incorrect. But Lou Gehrig, man, just a man that battled through so much and having a very we all have our crosses to bear, and he went through a lot. Career 340 batting average, 632 slugging average, and a 447 on-base average. Hit 493 home runs, 1995 runs batted in. Still has the highest ratio of runs scored plus runs batted in per 100 paid appearances, 35.08. And per 100 games, 156.7 among Hall of Fame players. Wow. The man, the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig. Rest in peace. There is construction in the neighborhood here, and we're trying to get to...
Take the next left onto 65 Pelham Road, then turn left onto Circuit Road.
Where we need to be here. A lot of people that live out in this area usually, at that point would be traveling out to traveling to New York City for work, because it's not that far away. We're off of New Rochelle, is off of I-95. Oh, there's this UPS truck here.
Next left onto Circuit Road.
Here we are en route to New Rock, New Rochelle as it's called here.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Drake Avenue.
I'm giving you just an idea of how the neighborhood looks now, modern day. And this is Grez, G-R-E-S, and I thank you for taking the time to look at this video. Please do subscribe, hit the like bell, hit the notification bell. It would mean a lot to me. We're actually this is a home of Iona College far away from here.
Turn right onto Drake Avenue.
So it's changed the area since obviously Lou Gehrig has been around, but this is how the neighborhood looks modern day. This is Westchester County, about 50 miles from
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Elm Street.
50 miles from New York City. Tell you what, you could over here, upwards, going towards, this is going in the direction of Connecticut, Boston. It's a whole lot colder here than it is.
Take the next left onto Elm Street.
Wow.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Wayman Avenue.
It's colder here. There is snow. You know, this is about half an hour. It's this area is half an hour away from my home, and we don't have as much. We had practically no snow on the ground. Meanwhile, there is a snow covering here, so it's always.
Take the next left onto Wayman Avenue, then turn left onto Elm Street.
Colder out here than it is by the New York City area. The further north you go.
Take the next left onto Elm Street.
I would venture to say if you live out here,
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Meadow Lane.
you probably need a nice SUV truck. We're approaching Meadow Lane, the home that Lou Gehrig bought for his parents and actually lived in at some point.